This is the hollow hold abdominal exercise. This is going to be the beginner version, and it's going to be one of maybe 3 to 4 videos I'm going to make progressing from beginning to more advanced. The hollow hold is an anti-extension exercise. It's a fantastic abdominal exercise and really foundational in many strength and conditioning and especially gymnastics programming because it builds midline stability for overhead positions, like the handstand. To learn some of the cueing that I'm going to be talking about, I want you to first learn the difference between anterior versus posterior pelvic tilt. If you visualize your pelvis like a bucket that's filled with water, now visualize the top of that bucket and tilting it forward. If the water spills onto your toes, that's an anterior pelvic tilt. If the water spills onto your heels, that's a posterior pelvic tilt. What does that look like? Well, if the butt is sticking out and the top of my pelvis is tilting forward, here we have the anterior pelvic tilt. If we tuck that butt in, rotating the pelvis back, that is a posterior pelvic tilt. For this abdominal exercise, for all the hollow hold variations, it's very important that you have that posterior pelvic tilt, tucking that butt under, preventing any lower back extension. All right, let's get into it. All right, you're gonna lie on your back, nice and flat, nice and relaxed. You're simply gonna bring your knees to your chest. And again, remember, this is the beginner, the very first variation of the hollow hold. From here, you're simply going to bring your chest and head up slightly, just enough so you take the arch out of your lower back. I should not be able to stick my hand under my lower back. Versus, if I keep that arch, I can now stick my hand all the way under the lower back. So take that arch out and glue the lower back to the floor. Now, for some people, this in and of itself might be your beginner version, and that's perfectly fine. You can go ahead and hold this for 30 to 60 seconds. But even for the beginners out there, I think this is gonna be a tad too easy. So my beginner version is starting here, but then lower the legs until they're right about halfway down. Now you're gonna start feeling those abs engage, and you're gonna feel that lower back wanting to arch, but don't let it. Keep that lower back glued to the ground and maintain this hollow body position. A hollow body is sort of like a globally arched position, and you can especially see that when the legs are all the way straight. So you can do whatever you want with your hands. I recommend just to keep them straight down and out. And that'll make more sense when we get into advanced variations, because in the future, our legs are gonna be all the way straight and our hands are gonna be overhead. So just hands completely straight all the way down. Knees are roughly halfway lowered or even a little bit higher. And you're just gonna hold for, if you're a beginner, 20 to 30 seconds at a time, or whatever your coach has prescribed. Now you know you've lost the hollow body position if we've suddenly arched and you can stick that hand under the lower back. If this is what's happened to you, the exercise is over. You're no longer doing a hollow hold. You must maintain that posterior pelvic tilt with that lower back stuck to the ground. Well, there you go. That's the beginner version of the hollow hold.